I was the one who found her body by the river, and the first wife was standing there, calm like nothing had happened. I have carried this story for many years. I am old now, but the memory is still clear. I grew up in a small village where everyone knew each other's business. We lived close, too close. When something bad happened, no one could pretend they did not see it. This is not a story I heard. This is what I saw. My father's brother, my uncle, had two wives. That alone was not strange where I grew up. Many men had more than one wife. What mattered was how they treated them. Some men kept peace in their homes, some did not. My uncle did not. The first wife was called Mama Shade. She was strong and loud. She had 6 children, 4 boys and 2 girls. They were all older than the children of the second wife. Mama Shade had been with my uncle from his poor days. She worked the farm with him. She helped build the house. Everyone knew that. She never let anyone forget it. The second wife was called Amina. She was younger and quiet. She had 3 children, 2 girls and a small boy. She came when my uncle was doing better. He had more land then, more goats, more respect. From the day Amina entered that house, peace left. I was around 12 years old then. My mother sent me to stay with my uncle during school breaks to help on the farm. That is how I saw everything. The house was one compound but split in 2. Mama Shade lived on the right with her children. Amina lived on the left with us. The kitchen was shared, the well was shared, the farm was shared, nothing else was shared. Every morning, Mama Shade would cook early. She made sure everyone heard her voice. She shouted at her children. She shouted at Amina's children more. She called them lazy. She called them thieves. She said they were eating food they did not work for. Amina never shouted back. She greeted Mama Shade every morning. She greeted her children too. Most times they ignored her. Mama Shade's children followed their mother. They learned fast. When food was cooking, they would push Amina's children away. When water was fetched, they would spill it and say it was an accident. When firewood was gathered, they would take the best pieces and leave the wet ones. I saw all this with my own eyes. If Amina complained to my uncle, things became worse. My uncle hated noise. He hated trouble. He always said, "You women should set to it yourself." Then he will leave the compound and go to his friends. Mama Shade knew this. She knew he would not stop her. One day I remember clearly, Amina's small boy fell sick. He had fever and was crying all night. Amina asked Mama Shade's eldest daughter to help fetch water. The girl laughed and said, "Your child is not my problem." Mama Shade heard it and said nothing. That night, the boy almost died. That was how life was. People in the village saw it too. But No one wanted to interfere. Mama Shade had family there. Many. Amina was from far away. She had no strong voice in the village. I sometimes helped Amina's secretly. I would share my food with her children. I would fetch water for them when I could. She always thanked me softly. She never complained. Her eyes, though, were always tired. The first big fight happened during harvest season. My uncle divided the yams. He tried to be fair, but Mama Shadi said Amina was getting too much. She said her children were older and worked more. Amina kept quiet, but her hands were shaking. That night, Mama Shadi went to Amina's side of the house. She did not shout. That was what scared me. She spoke in a low voice. I was hearing, pretending to sleep. She told Amina, "You will leave this house one way or another." Amina did not answer. After that, the maltreatment became open and bold. Mama Shade's children beat Amina's children when no adults were around. They hid their clothes, they poured ash on their food. Once they locked the small boy inside the goat shed for hours. When Amina found him, she cried loud. For the first time since I knew her, Mama Shadi came out and slapped her. My uncle did nothing. I wanted to tell my mother, but I was scared. I was a child. I thought adults knew better. Then came the dry season. Water became hard to find. The river was far and low. One evening, Amina went to fetch water alone. It was not safe to go alone, but she had no choice. Mama Shadi's children had refused to go with her. I followed from a distance. I do not know why something in me was not at peace. When we reached the river, Mama Shadi was already there. I did not see her at first. She was behind the trees. I heard voices, low voices, angry voices. Mama Shadi came out. She blocked Amina's path. She said Amina was using witchcraft to turn her husband's heart. She said Amina's children were a curse. Amina said nothing at first. Then she said, "I just want peace." That was when Mama Shadi pushed her. Amina fell. She hit her head on a stone. Everything after that happened fast and slow at the same time. Mama Shadi stood there. She looked at Amina on the ground. Amina was not moving. I was frozen. I wanted to scream. No sound came out. Mama Shadi bent down. She checked Amina's face. Then she stood up. Stood up straight. She looked around. Her eyes met mine. I will never forget that look. She said, "You saw nothing." Then she called her eldest son. He came running. Together they dragged Amina closer to the water. I ran. I ran all the way back to the village. My legs were weak. My head was full of noise. By the time people reached the river, it was dark. They found Amina's body in the water. Mama Shadi was crying loudly. She said Amina slipped and fell. My uncle believed her. Some elders did not. They asked questions. Mama Shadi answered all of them. She was calm. Her children backed her story. I was cold. My mouth was dry. Everyone was looking at me. I wanted to speak. I wanted to tell the truth. But Mama Shade looked at me again. I said, I came late. I only saw people gathering. That lie has followed me all my life. Amina was buried the next day. Her children cried until they had no voice left. After that, life continued. Mama Shade raised Amina's children as her own. That is what people said. In truth, they became servants in that house. Two of them ran away years later. The boy joined a distant relative. I do not know what became of them. My uncle died not long after. Some said it was sickness, some said it was guilt. Mama Shade lived long. She never spoke of that day again. I left the village as soon as I can. I built my life elsewhere, but some nights I will see the river. I still see Amina's eyes as she lay there. This is not a lesson. This is not a warning. This is just what happened and what many people chose not to see.